Hello, hello, and welcome to the show. My name is Isolde Trachtenberg, and I am thrilled to welcome you to The Creative Kind. Today's episode is going to be a direct continuation of yesterday's. We're talking solutions, not resolutions. I know it sounds a little weird, especially since this is right around New Year's, but a lot of us make resolutions, and I'm becoming more and more convinced that resolutions are wishes, and they're fabulous, but they're not tactics. They're not giving you what you need in order to be able to actually achieve what you're trying to achieve, right? It's like, I resolve to do it, but if you don't have a plan of action, where are you? So the question is, do you know the goal? Do you know what you're trying to achieve? Before we even get into solutions or resolutions, do you know what you're trying to achieve? Do you know what the dream is? If you do, great. If you don't, what do you do? And even if you do, actually, let's take a look. Let's step back and take a look at that for a second. Even if you know what your dream is, are you sure it's the right one for you? How do you tell? How do you know if the dream that you've been telling yourself all about for years, possibly decades, is actually the one that you're best suited to pursue, or the one that you ought to be pursuing? Sometimes we tell ourselves that our goal is to have a nice house, and it might be. Your goal might be to have a solid relationship, and that might be. Your goal might be to write the great American novel. Your goal might be to be an incredibly successful business person, or to come up with a great new app, or to write television shows, or to be the world's greatest lawyer working at The Hague. I don't know. I don't know what that is for you. I should say, you need to identify it for yourself. And so the question of the day becomes, do you know what the dream is? And is it the right one? So, grab a piece of paper and try this. See if you can figure out for yourself what the actual dream is. Not the one you've been telling yourself about, not the one that you've been selling yourself since you were 5. Although that might be the dream, right? Sometimes we swing all the way back around to the dream we had when we were 5 years old. I wanted to be a spy. Probably not ever going to be a spy, but that's really what I wanted to do when I was a kid. So the spy won't work. But what do spies do? Spies gather information and disseminate information. They help keep the world safer, ideally. So I'm trying to do something similar from where my strengths are. And that's helping you figure out your dream, right? So you need to ID it. And not just the one where, again, it's, oh, maybe. No. What is it? What is it now? And how does it compare to what you wanted? And write it down. Write down all of the things that you dream you would do if you could. And again, we did that earlier, what do you love to do? But that's not it. This is not what do you love to do. This is what do you dream of doing. What's the goal? Because before you can come up with even a resolution, which is the wish for it to happen, you have to have the dream. After you have the resolution, the wish, you'll need to come up with solutions. How do you make all of that happen instead of just, oh, I wish it would? You need tactics. You need step-by-step goals and plans, and that's what I'm here for. So today, write down the dream. Write down the dream from when you were 5. Write down the dream from when you were in high school. Write down the dream from when you were in college. Write down the dream from when you were in your 20s. And if you're after your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, write down the dream through all of those decades as it changed. Go through and do a timeline of everything that you did. In fact, I am going to come up with something in the show notes for you to delineate the dream through the decades, and then write down the dream today. Just write down everything so that we can get an idea of how it's evolved and where you want it to go. Okay, that's today's episode of The Creative Kind. My name is Isolde Trachtenberg. If you know someone who is wrestling with this very topic, tag them, let them know about this show so that they can get in on this and figure out their dream, their resolution, and ultimately their solution to making it happen. Till tomorrow, I send you my love.